Hey everybody, this is Miss Graves with another cringy video, so I'm here. Okay, so what I'm going to be, this is going to be a really short video. It's not even going to be, probably not even 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, I don't know, but I'm going to try to keep it short. Just a recap of what we learned on Monday and Tuesday. So on Monday and Tuesday, we learned about the conquistadors, the Spanish explorers. Okay, we learned about Christopher Columbus and how he found Hispaniola, and that is now known as the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Okay, so Christopher Columbus. Second one is Amerigo Vespucci, and he is Amerigo. You should think Amerigo, America. He found South America through the Amazon River. Remember, he landed in the Amazon River and he found South America, so the American continents are named after him, so Amerigo Vespucci. Then we have Hernan Cortez, and he found Mexico, actually. So remember, he went into Mexico City, and there was the Aztecs, and he conquered the Aztecs in 2 years. Because remember, we talk about like disease and stuff? Disease was the biggest thing that killed a bunch of people, and it really acted as a weapon for Hernan Cortez and his people. Okay. Number 4 was Francisco Pizarro. So he actually was the one who came to Peru. He was a Spanish conquistador. He came to Peru, and he found the Incas there, and then he conquered the Incas, just kind of like Hernan Cortez did. And then last but not least, we have Juan Ponce de Leon, and he's our guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, so he's the one that discovered Florida, and so essentially the United States. He was the first one here, besides the Native Americans. So anyways, and he was out of the Pirates of the Caribbean, so remember that. And if you want to watch the movie, you'll hear his name. Okay, so just think of me in my class when you watch that. Okay, so now that we're done with Columbus, and we're done with conquistadors and the Spanish coming over, I think y'all have a pretty good grasp on that. We've already kind of touched on Jamestown. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into Jamestown, but also we're going to talk about the, and I completely forgot, the Columbian Exchange. We talked all about that today, and that's y'all's assignment due the next day you come in class. So for my Monday students, it's due Thursday, which will be tomorrow, since I'm posting this video on Wednesday. And for my Tuesday students, it's due on Friday. So make sure you remember that map. The map is, you're supposed to go on there. And actually, I think I may have a copy. So here's the map. So if you just want to like draw arrows from like the what was that called again? The Western Hemisphere, right? Which is the New World, to the Eastern Hemisphere, which is the Old World. If you want to draw arrows like pointing to what was brought from what, where. So a lot of times it was the Old World that brought stuff over to the New World, at first especially, but then after people started getting acquainted, they would go back to the Old World from the New World and bring stuff from the New World with them to the Old World. So just put things like that on there. It doesn't have to be anything formal, but just, if you even want to put it on the back, just put things that were moved over from Old World to New World in the Columbian Exchange. Okay? So do not forget that. That will be due tomorrow, or the next day that you're in class. So now we're going to kind of talk about the French and the Dutch that came to North America. We've talked about the English, right? We've talked about the Spanish, right? So the French and the Dutch, they're part of this too. They weren't left out. So they came over, and they had pretty good success too. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, the Netherlands, which is the Dutch. The Netherlands came over. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything for you guys. New Amsterdam, y'all have heard of that? That was something settled by the Dutch Empire. That was a thing settled, but that's for later. That's not quite with us just yet. So the English arrive, and then we have the success at Jamestown, which you've already talked about. Okay, we heard about Roanoke, right? Roanoke just like vanished, like magically disappeared, and so one of our key definitions here is investigating, and y'all know what investigating is. They had to kind of investigate what happened with the people from Roanoke, but back then it wasn't, they couldn't really investigate with like super powerful tools or anything. So anyways, we know that Jamestown ended up having a pretty good success. Oh gosh, I'm probably going to cap my 5-minute mark that I put on myself. And so I don't really want to introduce any main themes today. We'll start introducing main themes tomorrow, really focus on that Columbian Exchange thing today. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about how Jamestown survived. And then after Jamestown, because, you know, we talked about Jamestown, how they had hardships with the Powhatan Indians. They didn't have good food. They didn't have good soil. A lot of times their water was bad, too, and you couldn't drink ocean water, you know. So, anyways, we talked about Pocahontas, the Powhatan Indians, the starving time. You remember the starving time? We talked about that was in our video. So, yeah, there's a lot that we've already covered just in the videos. This is just kind of a refresher, but we're going to talk about how more settlers and stuff have come to Virginia, and then we'll go ahead and dive into lesson 2, okay? We're going to have to do that pretty quickly so we don't get behind. All right, then we'll talk about, I'm sure y'all have heard about the Mayflower Compact, the Virginia Company, and all that jazz. Connecticut, Rhode Island, conflict with Native Americans, the middle colonies, more colonies are coming. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a fun time doing it, and y'all be ready. Y'all come in on Thursday and Friday, and we'll have a fun day. Bye, guys.